Well, folks, I said until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. Hello and welcome to the most opinionated hour on radio and the nation's thought-provoking hour. Another Monday, another ritual as you know it. We gather every Monday at the same time to do one of radio's finest rituals. And it's only on Joy 99.7 FM. And as I say, let us gather and make truth good. Let us gather and make truth good. I am Nana Ansah Kwao IV, Chief of the Little Republic of Akwemu, Edumasa. Welcome to the show I call That's My Opinion. And our topic today, folks, the weak, strong arm of government. The weak, strong arm of government. Folks, I have said it quite a number of times, and those of you who have followed the show for a while should have heard me say that competition is not an African or Ghanaian thing. We don't have that much competition in our tradition. However, from the time we set on this distraction path called civilization, we have been taught nothing but to compete. Folks, we compete with people who we are even supposed to help. We compete with anything. We compete with our own shadow if we have the chance. And in many ways, we are paying a hefty price. Now you may be thinking of what has this got to do with the weak, strong arm of government? In fact, what is even the weak, strong arm of government? Folks, the media should have been the strong arm of government, which is now weak. And we have become the weaker arm, all because of excessive competition. Excessive competition. All too often we hear the mantra, one Ghana, one nation, one people. What we fail to add is same challenge. So it should go something like one Ghana, one nation, one people, same challenge. And I think the emphasis on same challenge is more important, because having one challenge is what brings people together. Even if we are enemies and we face one challenge, you will come together to overcome it. The fact that we are all from one nation doesn't mean I have to associate myself with you. No. Especially when we have been trained to compete. But if we face the same challenge, you could be from the other side of the globe, and I will still relate with you. If we face the same challenge, you could be from planet Mars. I will be in Adumasa, and I will still relate with you so that we can solve the challenge. But one nation, one people doesn't mean anything to us. Yeah, you're one people. So what? One nation, so what? But when you have something in common such as a challenge, something that is threatening you and it's common, then the need to come together to fight that threat becomes paramount. Folks, that's where we are struggling as the media fraternity. Understanding that we face the same challenge. So that it is not everything that we need to compete. I know, however, it's a bit tricky because of how some media houses are set up. Folks, many are set up for political gain. Theirs is just to sing the praises of whichever political party that they sympathize with. They will see nothing wrong. At best, treat, an issue with kid gloves. This is a really serious matter, touch and go. But generally, they see nothing wrong and make no apology. There are some that are set up for profit. These ones are just there for lotto magicians, charlatan pastors, money doubling. Basically, anyone who is willing to pay for airtime, you're free to come on board. Folks, there are others that are also set up because it's fashionable. The radio station, they own media houses. And theirs have no content, no useful content, no useful information, but they are still on air. So the owners can tout themselves and say, yeah, that's my radio station, or that's my TV station, or I am also a media house owner. Very few are set with the purpose of educating, useful information, and witful entertainment. They are few because this is not easy. To fill 24 hours with useful content, to have reporters all over the country chasing news and making news, and not just news, but relevant news. And forget about it being 24 hours, 365 days in a year. It doesn't stop. So that's the challenge. That's how difficult it is. Those Mickey Mouse people joining don't realize that every hour of the day should be covered all throughout the year with useful information, education, and even if it's entertainment, not just mere buffoonery, but nice wit, intelligent entertainment. Thankfully, folks, we may have our faults, but I can honestly say multimedia, we are on the right side of the game. We may have our faults. I mean, nobody's perfect, but we are definitely on the right side of the game. And I'm telling you, it's not easy. But folks, the division and the competition is the reason why sometimes we get abused and there's no resolution. We get abused and there's no resolution. As a media fraternity in a developing Ghana, where we have one problem, or if I should say one challenge, there should be a place where all media houses meet, where all media houses agree, particularly if it's got to do with nation building. Let's say child protection. It couldn't be an issue where different media houses have a different approach towards child protection. We should all be in it for child protection. Environmental protection, we should all be in there. But if we say it's them and not us, then we become weak. Look at how MPs will come together when one of them is touched. No matter the party they belong to, they will unite and demand change, unite and demand extra security, extra money. They would all come together. Whatever, they will drop their differences and stick together for strength. The police do well. The military can attack a whole village and drive everyone out. Should you dare touch one of them, they will come together to show strength. But somehow we in the media are still in the serious competition business. It is them, not us. So let's say Kwame Boateng goes out, does a life-changing documentary. It's only multimedia that will talk about it. Sometimes even within multimedia, some programs will not highlight it as much, not make a fuss about it as much, let alone other media houses. So with such an attitude, surely anyone can take advantage of you, beat you, molest you, and go free because there isn't that collective strength to come to your defense. We should be at a place where, folks, there should be coordination. National Development Hour. Oh yes, we should be at a place where there's National Development Hour, where all these big editors come together. Elvis Kwashi. I don't want to mention but all the Elvis Kwashis in the media fraternities come together and create a National Development Hour. Prime time, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., where all these big players choose one sector and deal with it until it is solved. The editors should have a forum by now. Now it's easy. Have a forum so that if this month is road deaths, we are all talking about it. We are all probing, pushing, getting people sacked, exposing officials. There will be no hiding place until people do their job. But at the moment, it's like, well, Joy is doing road carnage, so, well, let's do fertilizer smuggling. Radio C2 also says, well, Joy is doing road, Radio A is doing agrig, so you know what, let us do education. diluting the strength. Diluting, because even on topics to do with nation development, we are competing. Or they are doing tourism, so you know what, no, let us go and do aquatic something. Folks, the media is what decides what you talk about, what you think, and even how you think about it. When you wake up in the morning, as to whether your water is safe to drink, as to whether there's been a hurricane, a bomb, a coup d'etat, armed robbery, folks, the media decides on what it is that you're going to talk about today and what you're going to think and how you think about it. So while you're driving to work, whatever it is they're talking about, that a 12-year-old went to hospital and couldn't get a bed and the services was bad, so that's what you think and that's what you talk about and that's your sentiment. That's how powerful the media is. Now, at the moment, folks, education has failed us. We leave school, come back and litter and be impatient and just unruly. Religious bodies have failed us. We come out of the mosque and the churches and are more corrupt than anything you can think of. The traditional fraternity has done no better. At the moment, they are in bed with anybody who would destroy the environment. They are in there. So one would have hoped that the media, as a mass communicator, would have come in to do the rescue. Folks, one would have hoped, and considering that the average Ghanaian and many of them would always hook onto a radio or a television, there's a captive market ready for us, fertile ready for us to come in to do the rescue. But look at us, folks. In a country like Ghana, in all honesty, apart from GRA, we should have been the most feared in Ghana. Folks, apart from the tax man, we should have been the most feared, that if anything was happening, they told you that the media guys were coming, you should shake. But unfortunately, it's not so. Folks, we should be leading the focus. We should be setting the agenda. We have to set the agenda, folks. Otherwise, if there's no concentration on a particular problem, then the issue never gets solved. Where you touch and go, and quickly move on. No. Folks, we should have this National Development Hour where all these big players and big editors have a forum, and every Monday or beginning of the month they say, you know something? We are going to change, let's say, problems with school feeding. We are going to start from where the corn was grown to who ate the bolo kenke. It will be solved. And if anybody has siphoned money or not done something properly, they will be called to answer. We then get the citizens to be angry and frustrated and open their eyes. And one after the other, we could bring the change that we're looking for. Because politically we are so divided and just opportunistic. So nothing's going to happen there. Education is so weak. There's nothing coming about it. Education is all now politicized. It's not about, the substance that come out is just the numbers that went in. The substance that comes out is not important to anybody. It's just that I took 1 million people. Oh, he took 2 million people. But how many came out and were any meaningful? So this is where, as the strong arm of government, the fourth strong arm of government, this is where we should come in now and fill that gap. So that it will be known in history that when all else failed, the media took up the mantle, drove the passion of the nation, and caused the change that Ghana needed. Because, folks, in all honesty, we can't develop with multi-party politics. It's not going to happen. You know that. Don't deceive yourself. You will never develop with multi-party politics. You won't develop. You won't develop with too much superstition where it is as though the devil only lives in Ghana and Africa. I was reading a little note on WhatsApp where they said that the Chinese have trained 2 million engineers a year, and we produce 10 million pastors a year, but still the devil is haunting us. Like a joke, but it's true. So our religious bodies is just too much superstition for this modern world. That's not going to help us. We, the traditional fraternities who could have pushed culture and tradition and self-confidence, we are not doing anything. So maybe, in an era like this, where luckily or fortunately we have people already tuned to the media houses, maybe there should be an hour, 2 hours that we all operate as one. We don't compete in that hour. There's still 23 hours left in the day to compete, but there should be 1 hour, maybe 2, where we come together as one voice and insist that something should change, all these things to change. Why are some roads dusty, and why are bitumen roads being asphalted on? Somebody should answer that question. How does it work that some roads have even got asphalt and they get double asphalt on it when some roads are dusty? We have to dedicate a month. It can't be solved in a day. It can't be solved in 2-3 days. No, it has to be a month. Where we demand change, we agitate people that change must happen. Answers should be given. Then and only then are you going to become that strong arm of government. Feared, revered. Let us not compete on anything, even on a matter of national importance. If I am talking about child protection, oh no, Joe, yeah, child protection. So today, yes, sir. If we do, we are copying them. Copying who? It is your child and my child. It is the same child that's going to grow and rob you and rob me or my grandchildren. It's the same child. So if we are protecting a child, we shouldn't compete. If it's about aquatic protection, the big editors should come together. We should come together. There should be at least 1 hour where there's no competition. There's too much competition, folks. We compete in everything. We're just too much. Even in traffic, bumper to bumper, and still somebody wants to be in front of you and think, oh, the thing is all bumper to bumper. I am pleading with the media fraternity that wake up, take up the mantle. Since we can't have a one-party state, since we can't have a coup d'etat, since we can't have a revolution, maybe we can have a media revolution where we push and push and push for the right thing to be done and earn our proper place in the government structure. Well, it's 0302 216 541. Zero 0302 216 541. Okay, let me see. Who's my first caller?
Hello, Nana.
Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very well. Who am I talking to?
Nana, I'm Pakojo. I'm calling from a showman.
Let me hear you, Pakojo.
Nana, it's quite refreshing that you've turned the searchlight on your own people, on the media. And it simply shows how mature you are, how unbiased you are, and I like it. But Nana, you see, why wouldn't everything be turned into a competition? What kind of politics or democracy do we run? Winner takes all. Am I right, Nana?
Yep.
Now, if you have a system which produces politicians or leaders who take over 50,000 Ghana cedis as ESB, and driving for how do you call it? V8 and other things. Why wouldn't people kill to become MPs? Nana, look, the issues you talk about are not just issues of competition. It's in our psyche, Nana. We have just lost it. Our leadership has lost it. We have lost it as a people. And when I say this, people think I've actually passed a vote of no confidence in Ghana. I haven't. But some of the problems are so simple. You talk about competition among media stations. No matter which angle you look at it from, the politician will be the one who is going to provide the answers. And then what do? We are in bed with them, are we not? It's a shame, Nana. But I honestly have given up on Ghana. I think that we prefer a revolution. That's my take. Good evening.
Good evening, and thank you so much for calling 0302216541. I am calling on all media that it's about time, and it's easy. I think it's the easiest time now with all these WhatsApp and Instagram and platform. You can even create your own private platform outside of everything and set the agenda. Hello, who's talking to me?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
It's been a while since I spoke to you on the show.
Sure. Who am I talking to?
My name is Francis.
Francis, let me hear you.
But something as simple as this. You work with the media. Who is supposed to take charge and get the results? Hello?
Yeah, Francis, I'm here.
Yes, Nana.
Well, that's why I'm calling on us. I mean, this like you said, the mantle is directed at us now. So let me hear your comment.
Yeah, so maybe you should take it up at Joy FM, contact the other media houses, and I believe you can make progress from there.
Thank you. 0302216541. Fancy to say walanga zako faba. True. You can call 055 1111997. 055 11 11 997. Dr. Cynthia Sego says, hello, who's on the phone?
Hi, Nana, Joseph, how are you doing?
I'm very good.
Well, Nana, I just have one question for you to answer and solve the problem we are attempting to already. Who owns the media house?
Well, it depends on which media house, but I know that, that's what I was listing, that, some of them are politically, some of them are business, some, so, I was giving you the list. We haven't got any particular sector to say, oh, the media houses all belong to Abeku Sankofi. So that's the thing. That's the tricky part.
But during news hour, how do you cross to make sure that you run into so many radio stations?
Well, there are certain media houses that decide to affiliate with you.
Exactly. That's where the challenge is. It means the reality is that the capacity is not there. We just litter the stations and then we think it can produce results. You look at the quality of the media personnel that you have.
Well, that's why I say,
everybody is more like a train in code to speak over everything except nothing.
Well, I get you, but I don't know if you know where I'm coming from. I see,
No, I appreciate. I appreciate that you are the mouth, you are the crowd to do anything, but the capacity is not there.
I think the capacity is there. You see,
it's not there. I can assure the capacity is not there. It's not there. Look, beyond social community, going deeper and say someone is struggling, someone is doing this, you need like mindset someone working has been doing. You need to dig your this thing, and that capacity is not there. It's not only about the knowledge. You need resources. You need so much to get it done, and that is where the challenge is. So people are just floating around, going for this, with 20 people running around. So we'll continue like this. I can assure you, it is not going to work unless that thing changes. I was just monitoring another station while you were doing it. And you can imagine how they are praising, and just it's like everything is so rosy, and we are almost like in heaven in quote.
I get it. That's why I say that's the tricky bit, because we are all not, all the radio stations are not set up with the same mentality. I said some of them are set up for political gain. So for them, as you're saying, this is heaven. Petrol has never been cheaper than now, and you know where they're coming from. So we have that challenge. But I still think there are some, multimedia is a powerhouse. So that if multimedia was moving, if you have the Despite group moving, if you have the City group moving, there are certain critical houses that if they came together, they would reach a good amount of people to make that critical change that you need. You may not get every single one, but there are, big players in the house. Hello, who's talking to me?
Good evening, Nana.
Good evening.
My name is Emmanuel, calling from Adam.
Emmanuel, let me hear you.
Nana, in fact, you have just hit the nail at the right point. You see, when I wake up as a Ghanaian, honestly, listen, some days I feel very sad for this country. Especially when our media could not stand up to the task. And that is where our hope is dashed. You are making the right call. A media personality can be brutalized by national security not once, not twice, not thrice, and no result. And the media houses sat down and matched. And you see, we are disappointed. Very, very disappointed. If the other arms of government could not do it, if the traditionalists, the religious body couldn't do it, and the media is also telling us, we are finished. We are finished. What are we going to? What are we going to do? As a citizen, you go to hospital, you don't get bed. You go to an officer can just molest you as a Ghanaian, and nowhere we just talk it and leave it. No action. Please, the media houses, please, in the name of God, please wake up. Wake up. Wake up, Nana. The media houses, wake up.
We have heard your call and we'll try and wake up. 0302216541 or 05511111997. So Nana, you just hit the nail. You just hit on the nail. This touch and go chasing the next big sensational news is one of the bane of our fourth realm. Like the police, the media seems not to like seeing issues to its conclusion. As for the competition, dear, Lord have mercy. Odote. Hello, who's talking to me?
Yeah, good evening, and I thank God for your life.
Thank you too, my brother.
This is Ajima, this is from Sinai Tema.
Ajima, one of these days I have to drive to Committee 9 and come and see you.
Yeah, I'll be glad to meet you.
Let me hear you, Ajima.
And when said Crown Watching and Co were assaulted, multimedia didn't make a lot of noise about it. But with this CPFM guy, they have taken it upon themselves. Talking about it seriously. Why? It's all because of the love for the job. But one issue is, journalism is very crucial job. But in Ghana here, we don't value journalism. When journalists are to go on strike, we are going to suffer because you will be there and you'll be taken by the storm. But you see, I blame some of the media houses because they are not together. They are not one. We have some media houses. It was built purposely for a certain political party. And we have some certain political parties, when they are embarking on their activities, we have some specific media men who should follow them. You understand? And also, some of the media men are lured by money. They will pay them to publish stories, to concoct stories, to give out stories, either to destroy or to rise the image of a certain political party. So with this issue, journalists will be taken for granted. We have journalism association, but who is to talk for them? Because the heads who should talk for them knows that, as for our people, some of them follow money. Most of them follow money. So when it happens like that, they will talk for you. Let them reach them because they follow money. Though I will not say that this guy followed money, but my point is most of them follow money and they don't go according to the ethics of the job. That's why they are suffering.
But I kind of agree with you. That's why I'm trying to change the goalpost to say that, listen, if we had a, one nation hour, one people hour, I don't know how they call it, one Ghana hour, so that all these powerhouses between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m., that prime time on radio, on TV, a particular program will be, a particular sector will be taken. And for a month, maybe 6 weeks, we get to the bottom of it. All guns blazing, even if he has to go to the Supreme Court, it goes. As soon as you do sector 1, sector 2, by the time you hit sector 3 and say that next week we are finished with the roads, the road coordinator is in prison, this guy, owes money and he's been sacked, this. Now we are moving to health. By the time you get there, you see the cleanup. We shake the system an hour. But, where we don't compete, the big editors would all come together and decide that this is what we're going to do. We are going to do road carnage. We start with the condition of the road, the experiences of the drivers, their licenses, the roadworthiness of the cars. Because at the end of the day, the buck stops somewhere. And if that guy is made to pay or questioned or humiliated, sacked, jailed, people will start sitting up. And I'm saying that all other fraternities have failed us. So maybe it's an opportunity for us to come together so that one day they will say that when all else failed, the media stood up. Likes of Elvis Kwashi and all the big players in all these big media houses came together and dedicated 1 hour or 1.5 hours every morning, Monday through Friday. Hello, who's talking to me?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Nana.
Yes, sir.
The fourth rim is the media.
Yeah.
And the president of the media is fighting the very group he's leading. Afamoni, or how did they call him? And turn around to apologize. The man who must fight for you people is fighting you people. And you could not come together as a media organization to force this man to resign. He's still there. So there's nothing people can do to make a breakthrough. Thank you.
Thank you very much. 0302-216-541 or 055-1111-997. Let's hear what your take is with regards to this very important issue, if you ask me. It's a very important issue. I think it's a lifesaver because, as I said earlier, that as a multi-party democracy, you can't develop a nation. It hasn't been tried anywhere, it hasn't been proven anywhere, and it's never been done anywhere. So if we all think that we can just go and vote every 4 years and expect development, folks, then we are in serious trouble. Hello, who's talking to me?
It's Albert from La Paz.
Albert, let me hear you.
Okay. Nana, I think you have said it. But one of the things that I think you could have also championed is the death of the boy today. You see, for example, the health sector. We were promised that they are going to build us 88 hospitals. Up to now, those of you in the media, you have not been able to follow this news for us. If you had one hospital at that place, a very good hospital, that boy couldn't have died. You see, so some of these things, some of you must follow it. Oh, we will build us 88 hospitals. Now, all of you have left it. They are not talking about it. I expect somebody like Daniel Dazi, the engineer in your group, to follow this story and get something for us. Because people will be dying every day and we report it. Kojo Jansen, Winston Amwa, everybody will discuss it. This morning I was very in a bad mood when I went to work. I said, no, what is happening in Ghana? The next time somebody will die from Wa, the next time somebody will die from Boligatanga, then we will discuss it and we'll close it there. So follow this thing. For example, the health sector, the hospital, the 88 hospitals. If they can even build us 20, we'll be very happy. Thank you, Nana.
Thank you very much. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Imagine if all media houses chose 1 month or 6 weeks to find out that what happened to the hospital. Because yes, it's good enough if Joy FM says it. But then if you were not listening to Joy at that moment and you tuned somewhere else and they were talking about smuggling of fuel on the seas, and then you tune to somewhere and they are talking about Galamsey tractor burning, you tune to somewhere maybe they are talking about some gender abuse. All these topics are important, but I'm saying that if we had that Ghana hour where we championed these 88 hospitals and questioned why it is that boy died, which doctor was there, which nurse was there, what went wrong, then people will sit up. Hello, who's talking to me?
Yeah, Nana, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, it's very interesting, and I'm just enjoying the callers because they're actually speaking a lot of my mind this evening.
Good.
But I want to chip in my own thoughts. It is very interesting, the kind of country that we live in. Many journalists are not trained. Look at the law fraternity. I mean, they are together in most instances because they have the General Legal Council that disciplines even lawyers. But that doesn't happen in journalism. Today we have black male journalists. Anybody stands up, wakes up because they can speak Twi or whatever language, they are on radio. No training, no morals, no ethics, and they are all around. So how do you expect to have unity? You're not going to get that because people are there for their parochial interests. And most of the media houses are even owned by politicians. And if it is not by politicians, the production team. Oftentimes, people criticize the hosts, like somebody was talking about Daniel Dazi. I mean, he's just a host. The production team, they are the most corrupt. Manasseh Awini mentioned that. He even mentioned that Poradomochi tried to bribe somebody from the morning show not to air militias in the castle or whatever documentary that he did. He has to resign because he felt that there were people in there who were not letting him do his work. These are the realities that people don't know of. So they go ahead to blame just anybody. It is because of lack of education. Everybody wakes up, oh, I'm a journalist. And even they don't want to take journalists from the traditional institutions like GIJ and other places because they couldn't go there. They only say that, oh, products from these places are not good. They don't give them any on-the-job training, nothing like that. And I call them paparazzis in the media. And they've entrenched themselves within the media space. How can you see progress with this? Then to your president, you pay dues for somebody to protect you, and the person goes protecting national security, telling you that it's a national security zone for the Kuda guy to go there, and you should have known. Come on. I am taking pictures of a bus, even if it is national security. Am I taking pictures of guns, ammunition, or their secret meeting? I can go to the premises and take pictures. We see FBI, America's FBI. The building is always everywhere. You can Google it. You're going to see even FBI offices, their vehicles, they even inscript FBI on it. You're talking about national security, our national security. Really? And you're telling me that I can't go there to take pictures. And you, the president, you are supporting that, and he is still in office. Instead of you journalists to gang up just because you want to win awards that I call shambolic awards, the DJ awards. So you not even speak for somebody. So even if you can't unite on this very simple issue, what issue can you unite on? The hospitals will not be built. The politicians, the journalists, even today, I have been told that some journalists have diplomatic passports. For what? Diplomatic passports. Just because they side with a political party. And you expect those people to work for Ghana's interests. When they get sick, they can easily arrange for them to fly abroad. So they don't care about what happens. You can import over 10,000 beds. There are no infrastructure, no hospital to put them there. Just because somebody wants to make money from those 10,000 beds, they've imported them, and their beds will deteriorate. Nobody speaks about them. Even if Kuda should go and take pictures of those beds, national security will come and beat him up, and then they will say, oh, after all, it's within the premises of national security. Then the president will act as though he doesn't know. Now he's going to tell the national security minister, give me a report 72 hours.
Thank you very much. I share your passion in that. When you mentioned roads, I remembered passing on the road adjacent to the National Service Secretariat at Airport Residential, and the road has been asphalted. Come and see Tema, Abukubi Pantang, Ashoman, Agbugba. We are driving in pots and pits and manholes, yeah. And yet, we, the residents here, pay our taxes too to government. But the national cake, the big man and woman, no sati yet. Inti yenkaho. As for the media fraternity, well, many don't get paid well, so they have to drive into the pockets of the very people who they are to bring to account. Macosby. Hello, and who's talking to me?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
My name is Aja.
Ajwa, let me hear you.
Nana, good evening once again.
Good evening.
I was just watching YouTube this afternoon, and I heard an interview you had with Dr. Emmanuel Evans in 2015.
Yeah.
It was an interview that had a lot of wisdom, but I think last Thursday he was buried and nobody really spoke about it in the media. Not necessarily his death, but the fact that he had contributed so much to Ghana as a whole. I think that if I could say the truth, the media is now poised to give a lot of people high blood pressure in the morning by talking about politics and expressing their views on the biases that they themselves are acquainted with. You see, I think that if we are to take people on from the leadership positions, in terms of the positions that people hold in the various offices and departments, and not politicize everything, so that if somebody does something wrong, if it's not NDC, it is MPP, the world will go on, and Ghana will take the lead. If Rwanda has been able to do it, and Ghana has never been in any war, and we've been able to do it, the media can help do it. If today the nation has been divided, the media is to be blamed for it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, tomorrow is your birthday. Nana Ansah Grow younger, grow wiser, grow much more handsome, be dynamic, and be a change maker. Nana Ansah. Well, it is my hope that at least in my lifetime, the history will start, our new history will be, beginning of it being written, that indeed the media jumped on board to change our course in history, that we woke up in the mornings and we decided what the nation should take and talk about. We did not wait for agendas to be set for us. We set the agenda. We told you that the water is safe to drink. We told you that there's enough energy. We told you that the country was safe. Above all, we told you that our challenge is the same. Our problems are the same. And therefore, we have to unite and fight it. Abeku Sankofi was on the ones and twos. Esther Yoku, I see you. I'm sure Rita Yoku is in there somewhere in the maze. Oheneyuri Awodanswa in the maze, external producer. Nyamia Nyonyam, our youngest audience. And as Menu is getting ready to give you the bulletin. Sammy Forsing is on standby. And today he says he's got the best of collections. For the next 7 years. So he's coming to really play some really soul-searching songs so that while we ponder, yes, once again, happy birthday to you, Nana Kofi Frimpong. Happy birthday to you. Enjoy your day tomorrow. Live younger, live stronger. Be brilliant and a change maker. Folks, my name is Nana Ansah Kwao IV, Chief of the Little Republic of Akwemedumasa. And as I say, until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter.
8 o'clock.
Hello, welcome to the headline news at 8 with me, Ernest Menu. The Ashanti Regional National Security Coordinator, DCOP Opari Adon, has vowed to take action following what he describes as the humiliating assault on him and his forceful removal from office by members of pro-NPP vigilante group Delta Force. Now, he